Welcome back. Now, the South African Sugar Association has offered 176 million rand in lifeline transformation funding to end the country's black and small-scale sugarcane growers. Now, most of which is for growers delivering less than 1,800 tons of cane in the 2023-2024 season. This as the industry struggles with the milling sector crisis and growers work to recover from last season's financial shocks. SA Canegrowers CEO Thomas Funke joins us now with details on this funding. Thomas, thank you so much for your time and good evening to you.
Good evening.
Now, of course, Thomas, it has been a very difficult time for South Africa's sugar industry between Tongaat and Glenhow and sugar tax, unrest and flooding in KZN. Just speak to us about, the state of these small-scale sugar cane growers that led to the aid.
Yeah, the last 6 months have been very difficult. You're 100% correct. Very testing time, especially for those growers delivering to Tongaat and Glenhow Sugar. They've had a very uncertain future, not knowing if their mill's going to remain open and in business. And in so doing, the market for their product was obviously at risk. The default by these two companies on industry payments placed a big burden on all the sugarcane farmers and other millers in the industry. And that obviously led to a big drop in revenue last year and last season, actually at the end of March. But hopefully things are on the recovery. We heard last week or the week before that there's a SEP partner for the Tongaat business. And we remain hopeful that this will be a solution in the long term.
I'm keen just to also understand, Thomas, how the interdependence of the sugar industry, and that's what it works like. The sugarcane farmers are kind of dependent on the mills, and the mills on the whole ecosystem. So one break in the system could really cause issues here. Just talk to us about that interconnectedness.
That's correct, yeah. So sugarcane, when it's harvested, needs to be processed within a time frame of 48 hours before it loses quality. And a loss in quality means that the miller won't be able to extract maximum sugar from that sugarcane. So it's vital that when farmers harvest, that they deliver their sugarcane as quickly as possible to the sugarcane mill, and that sugar is produced from that cane. Now, if a mill stops operation and there's sugarcane that's harvested and it's lying on the ground, that will just rot away. And that's massive value that the farmer has invested in producing that sugarcane, and then obviously doesn't get a return for it because it's rotten and nothing can be produced from it. So this interdependentness between the two parties has been around and is around in many industries, sugar industries throughout the world. So it's nothing unique to the sugar business. But in South Africa, we have 12,000 growers, for example, delivering sugarcane to Tongaat alone. So you can imagine the repercussions if those mills were to close on these farmers, their farm workers, and their families. It would be massive.
Sure, it really is a very difficult situation that you're paying for us, Thomas. But then we have this 167 million rand in aid. Just talk to us about that, and the ability to help these small-scale growers.
Yeah, this 176 million rand is actually part of our bigger transformation intervention package. It's a 1 billion rand deal that we have over 5 years. And we're currently in the last year of this package. So this payment, I think, comes at a time when it's much needed for small-scale growers because they had that big impact of the defaults by both Tongaat and Glenhow Sugar at the end of the season. So this adds about 6% to their revenue and will come at a time when they need it most. The payments are also structured in such a way that every small-scale farmer gets some of the money. They don't all deliver at the same time. So the first tranche is being paid now at the end of July. And that's for sugarcane delivered in June. And then we'll have another payment in November and then another payment towards the end of the season.
So let's talk about how we're expecting this aid to, sustain. How long? Is it a matter of how long it can sustain, Thomas, or is it a little bit more complex than that?
Yeah, it's a lot more complex. And in the sugarcane value chain master plan that we did with Minister Patel's office, one of the task teams there dealt with the complexities of small-scale grower farming operations and what the long-term solutions are. We did find that one of the solutions is to pay them a premium price, and that's because of the economies of scale, but also the importance that they are to our sector and the important role that they play in the rural economies of both KZN and Mpumalanga. But long-term solutions are needed and being investigated as part of the master plan, I guess, phase 2. We're not yet there, but we're getting there. And those will mean special arrangements probably for small-scale growers, etc. So we're looking at a whole range of options.
You did mention the strategic equity partner for Tongaat Hewlett. I'm just wondering, from your perspective at this point, how has this business rescue process gone? I know it's been brutal for industry players. And, are you just looking forward to having somebody in there investing and ensuring that, those assets are able to work the way they should?
Absolutely, yeah. We're giving support to the growers that deliver to Tongaat Hewlett, but we're also working with Tongaat Hewlett and the business rescue practitioners to try and understand how the equity partner was selected. And we've been told that a stringent process has been followed, so we're very grateful for that. And then obviously we're awaiting the publication of the business rescue plan. That was postponed a while ago, but there is a date, I think, in concrete at the end of September this year where the plan has to be finalized. So, we're going to wait for that. That should have all the detail in as to what this deal is all about. And once that's out, we can give more comment on that.
Wonderful, Thomas. Let's touch base then. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon. And that was Thomas Funke, CEO of SA